Greetings. I hope this video finds you well during these crazy times. It's been a while since I've made a message, but I had a really inspiring call today with a client that I wanted to share about. And it's about forgiveness. And when I speak about forgiveness, I'm most interested in encouraging the self-forgiveness. And forgiveness is a process of letting go, right? It's a process of letting go of something that we were holding on to, something that we wanted, something that was hurtful. And in self-forgiveness, the way I look at it is it's a letting go of an old belief system. It's allowing oneself to bring in a new story to write about our life, to rewrite the story of our past. Because a lot of the contractions or judgments or challenges that we face internally has to do with some old story that we're holding on to, some old belief that maybe we can let go of. And my client and I were speaking about the disappointment of the expectation that someone else was going to behave in a certain way that was probably the right thing. If you want to look at it from a right and wrong, it was probably, expected by most people, but this person didn't behave that way. So I offered, rather than expectation, what do you think about valuing forgiveness, practicing forgiveness? And so the process that I lead with forgiveness and self-forgiveness is one of, as I said, letting go of a judgment, letting go of something that some part of us wanted or needed to be okay, for things to be right, for them to fit into our beliefs. And if you look at the beliefs, my perspective on it is that our beliefs are often not our own. You might, for instance, in this case, believe that somebody should, treat us the way that we treat them. Well, where did that come from? Might have you had a parent or a grandparent or a friend or somebody who is a mentor teach you, and it's important when we're young to learn these things. You should teach people the way that, or treat people the way that you want to be treated. And people should treat you the way that you treat them. These are important adages that we want to teach our children so they can grow up and be good people. But when our values and beliefs create contraction and upset and disappointment, they're no longer serving us, I believe, in the ways that they used to when we were younger. So there becomes a time in our life when it's time to really examine our beliefs, examine our values, and see if they are upsetting us because they're not being met, that it's time to let them go. So if one was going to practice forgiveness here, step one would be to express and release the emotion that's created by the upset, by the frustration, by the disappointment. And then state that I'm going to let go of this judgment, this belief, and I'm going to move into a new place. And the tool that I find most powerful for that is compassion. I know it's, probably not a new concept. Compassion, being a core value of Buddhism, I think is been spoken all over our world and culture at this point, that compassion is key, compassion is the path. And what I find is that coming from a place of compassion, we can rewrite the story that's playing inside of us, that's creating the judgments. From a voice of compassion, we might find the knowing that this person is just wounded. The person who didn't meet our expectation is just wounded. But it's really difficult to find that before we let go of, before we forgive ourselves for holding something that is causing us pain. And what I find is if we're upset at someone else and you look inside and see, well, is there something that I could have done differently? Is there something that I created inside of myself, an expectation, a thought, a want, a judgment, a jealousy that's really at the root of my feeling right now of upset? You most likely will find that you can let go of that inside yourself, and you can forgive yourself for having created a limiting belief, an untrue expectation or idea about someone in the world that can allow you liberation from the upset. And let go of old stories that might still be playing out today about the person who burned you, or the person who didn't treat you the way you want to be treated, or was unfair to you. So I hope this is making sense. I think it's the first time I've talked about self-forgiveness, and I can see how, trying to focus on self-forgiveness when other people may seem to be doing things that are upsetting could be confusing to you. But I'm happy to receive any questions or comments. If this is valuable or uncertain on what I mean, feel free to reach out, and look forward to hearing from you. Wishing you all well. Oh, one more thing. I want you to check out this amazing sunset. Look at that. So blessed. How about that, huh? All right, be well.